Imagine a character picking up a glowing crystal and throwing it with perfect timing, sync with physics, camera shake and cinematic lighting. Sounds complex, right? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create this entire pick up and throw animation scene in Blender. From importing animation, setting up constraint, adding physics, building an environment, all the way to final cinematic rendering. And the best part, we are doing everything using free tools like Mixamo and BlenderKit add-on. So let's jump into Blender and build this step by step. So first open Blender, then go to any browser and in the search bar type BlenderKit and press enter. You will see this page open. Simply click on this first link to open the website. From here you can download this super useful add-on. They have also provided a step-by-step installation guide and the process is quite simple. Once downloaded, just drag and drop the zip file into the Blender viewport, keep user default enable and click on OK. Pretty easy, right? Now once you have installed the BlenderKit add-on, go back to your browser again. In a new tab, search for mixamo.com. Then sign up and log in. If you don't have character of your own, you can choose from ones available on Mixamo. They provide multiple characters that are completely free to use. Then click on animation, search for throw, and I'm going to use this throw object motion. Click on it and it will automatically apply to your character. Now in this animation, you might notice that our character's hand are intersecting with the thigh. So to fix that, simply increase the arm space value. I will set it to around 65. And now the animation looks perfect. Next, click on download option, keep the settings as they are and click on download again. Then choose your default location and click on save. It will take a few seconds to download. Once done, get back to Blender viewport and delete the default cube. After that, go to file, click on import and choose the file format as abhix. Locate your file, select it and click on import. Once your character is imported into the viewport, make sure you are on frame 1. Then select the armature, go to edit mode, select all the bones and switch back to object mode. By doing this, we will be able to properly see the animation keyframe in the timeline. In our case, the animation is around 147 frames long. So I will set the end frame to 145. Now hit the spacebar to play the animation. And as you can see, we have a clean and beautiful character animation ready. Now let's add an object for the character to pick up and throw. A crystal. So in the BlenderKit search bar, type crystal, then filter the result by free. You will see multiple options available. Choose the one that fits your vision. I'm going to use this green crystal stone with sparks by Dennis Halfman. Click on it to download it into the viewport. Once it downloaded, move it slightly forward on y-axis. Then select the crystal and press Alt-P to clear the parent. After that, delete the empty, select the crystal and the object inside it. Then press Ctrl-P and choose Object Keep Transform. Next, select the crystal and press S to scale it down to an appropriate size. Now, add a stage or a platform where the crystal will be placed. Also, adjust the scale and position both the platform and the crystal so that character can easily pick it up. Next, select the crystal, go to Object Constraint tab and add a child of constraint. Then select the armature and switch to pose mode. Click on the finger bone to check its name. In this case, it's right hand index 4. Now, go back to object mode, select the crystal again and in the Object Constraint tab, use the picker tool to select the armature. Then in the bone field, choose the bone name we just checked. If the crystal gets displaced, simply click on Set Inverse to bring it back to its original position. Now scrub through the timeline to find the frame where the character picks up the crystal. In my case, it's around frame 28. At frame 28, set the influence to 0 and add a keyframe. Then move to frame 29, set the influence to 1 and add another keyframe. Now, if you scrub through the timeline, you will see the character picks up the crystal properly. Next, find the frame where the character throws the crystal. In my case, it's frame 73. Keep the influence at 1 and add a keyframe. Then move to frame 74, set the influence back to 0 and add another keyframe. Now, if you hit play, you might notice an issue. The crystal appears misplaced and is floating in the air. So to fix this, select the crystal and go to Physics tab. Enable Rigid Body, then set the shape to Mesh. Now go to frame 73, enable Animated and add a keyframe. Then move to frame 74, disable Animated and add another keyframe. Next, reposition the crystal back to its original location. Once it's done, hit the spacebar to play the animation. Now you can see that the character is properly picking up and throwing the crystal. Next go to scene properties and here expand the rigid body world section. Then click on cache and set the end frame to match your timeline's end frame. Then click on bake. This will bake the rigid body simulation in just a few seconds. Now press Shift A and add a camera. Enable lock camera to view and adjust the camera in the viewport to frame your desired shot. Next press Shift A, go to empty and add an empty sphere. Move the empty sphere slightly upward. Then go to outliner and while holding the shift, drag and drop the empty onto the camera to parent the camera to the empty. Now if you rotate the empty, the camera will rotate along with it, as you can see on the screen. Next select the camera, go to camera properties and set the focal length to 32. After that expand the timeline and switch it to graph editor. Go to frame 1, then in the object properties add a keyframe to the Z location. Now in the graph editor go to modifier section and add a noise modifier. Then move the timeline's cursor to the point where the crystal hits the camera. Scroll down, enable restrict frame range and set the start frame to 84 and end frame to 88. Now hit the spacebar to preview the animation. And as you can see, the camera shake effect is now ready. Now go to frame 84, select the empty sphere and press K to insert rotation and scale keyframe. If you can't see the keyframes, switch the editor from graph editor back to timeline. Next, move back to frame 1, press R to rotate the empty, scale it slightly and move it a bit properly to center the character in the frame. Then press K and insert location, rotation and scale keyframe. Now move again to frame 84, select the keyframe and shift it slightly from frame 84 to 82. After that copy this keyframe and paste it at frame 90. Then go to last frame, rotate the empty again, move it slightly to create variation and insert another keyframe. Finally hit the spacebar to preview the animation. And now your camera animation is fully ready. Now enable render view mode, then press Shift A, go to mesh and add a plane. Next move to edit mode, press S+10 to scale the plane and repeat it once more to increase its size, something like this. Now go to BlenderKit texture search, look for a ground texture, choose any one you like and apply it to the ground surface. Then switch to 3D model search and look for a house. Pick any model you prefer, download it and place it properly in your scene. After that select the ground plane, go to shader editor and in the mapping node adjust the scale of the ground texture. Now go back to your default layout and search for trees. I am going to use this pine tree by Andrei Petrukovich. Place it in the scene and adjust its scale accordingly. Using the same process, you can add more objects and models to populate your environment. Next, search for grass. Here, I am using this Grass Generic Small by Amanpreet Vajwa. Click to download it into your scene. Then select the grass plane object, move to edit mode, press S to scale it up so it covers the entire scene. Then right click and choose subdivide. After that, switch back to object mode, go to modifiers tab and adjust the density value. You can also play along with the random rotation and tweak the scale minimum and scale maximum values. Experiment with these settings until you get the grass look you like. Next, add some more props to populate the scene. I will start by adding a wooden table, then select the stool and press Alt D to create link duplicates, placing multiple stools around the table like this. Now move to Compositing editor, add a glare node, set the size to 0.75, the strength to 2 and the threshold to 0.75. After that, add a lens distortion node and place it before the glare node. Enable feed, then set the distortion value to 0.02 and the dispersion value to 0.01. Then go back to viewport and continue adjusting and placing props until your scene looks well balanced and visually appealing. Next, go to BlenderKit HDRI search, look for a sunset HDRI and choose any lighting setup you like. Now select the ground plane and press Shift D to duplicate it. Move to edit mode, press E to extrude it upward and scale it to cover the entire scene. Something like this as you can see in the viewport. Then switch back to object mode, select the extruded object, go to material tab, remove the current material and add a new material. rename it to fog. This will act as our environment fog object. Now change the surface shader from principal BHDF to principal volume. Set the density to 0.10 and the emission strength to 0.04. You can also adjust the emission color if you like. I will go with a slightly warmer tone. Now if you enable the render view mode, you might notice that the entire scene appears completely black. If you try going to object properties, expanding viewport display and switching the display to wire, it will only affect the viewport preview, not the final render. So to fix this issue, go to shader editor and connect the principal volume output to the volume input of the material output. As soon as you do this, your scene should become visible again in the render view mode. Next, go back to viewport, press Shift A, go to light and add a sunlight. And then adjust its properties, set the light color to slightly warmer tone to match the environment and enhance the overall mood of the scene. Now you may notice that the character looks a bit flat compared to the environment. So to change this feeling, select the character and go to shader editor. Open BlenderKit, switch to shader search and search for rusty white metal. Choose the one you like, then apply it to the white part of the character. Then search for rusty red material and apply it to the red area. Finally, go back to viewport and make some additional refinement to your scene. Add a few more trees, tweak the HDRI lighting and adjust the overall compositing until everything looks balanced and visually appealing. And that's it for this video. We have successfully built a complete pickup and throw animation scene in Blender. From importing the Mixamo animation to setting up constraint, physics simulation, camera movement, environment, lighting, fog and finally compositing. Everything you see here was created step by step using mostly free tools and add-ons. Now imagine what else you can build with these techniques. Energy interactions, object-based animation, cinematic storytelling shots, game-style action scenes. The real power isn't just this animation. It's an understanding how animation, constraint, physics and camera work together. You can now experiment with a different objects, environment, camera angles and timing to push this scene even further. And if you want to deep dive even deeper into this project, including all the exact settings, node setups and adjustments we have made, you can grab this exact project file from my Gumroad page. The link is available in the video description and explore everything in detail to learn even more. If you follow along and created your own versions, feel free to tag me on Instagram. I did love to see your works. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Till then, follow Abhi for more.